Welcome to another Punters Guide, the first older horse Group 1 of the season, the Lockinge Stakes, the feature this weekend, as always. Jason Weaver is alongside us. And before we get stuck into Saturday's action, Jason, we've kind of got all the classic trials behind us now. The Derby market still needs a bit of a shake-up, really, especially after Economics, a horse that you liked, won the Dante, and Connections probably lukewarm about going to Epsom.
Yeah, don't think that he's going to take his opportunity. However, we're the owner to say, look, I want him to go, or we are. I think we're trusting, aren't we, in Williams' sort of judgment of the horse as to where he wants him to go, and I think that is absolutely key. We'll have a chat a little bit later on if there is one lurking in their left field. At a huge price. I just was going over and over and thinking, where on earth is the Betfred Derby winner going to come from? Probably need to do a little bit more digging to find out running plans, but there is one in there that I think has been overlooked.
Okay, good. Look forward to that then. Right, let's watch the Betfred Derby picture. Last year's Betfred at St. Leger featured Desert Hero back in third, and he made a real good reappearance, and he looks to get back on the winning streak in the opener at Newbury this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, if you were looking for something to take him on, it would be Middle Earth, who went through the grades nicely, won the Melrose last year, or Salt Bay, who was third in the John Porter. But in all, and even Bolster at the top needs to take a huge jump forward. Desert Hero returning over 10 furlongs at Sandown, got outpaced and then re-rallied again to be beaten ahead. You could look around it as much as you want, but a 13-8 favourite, and he's strong.
Yeah, he said, yes, it was a good reappearance on a trip probably short of his best. We're also at Newmarket from the ITV cameras this weekend, and their opener is a 7-runner, 7 furlong handicap. But even though it's only 7, it's quite tightly knit.
Yeah, it's a good little handicap, top rated 89, bottom rated 77. Love Billy Boyle, be popular. Neil Callan, Richard Hannon just got pipped when we saw him last time at Newmarket. Gressington steps into handicap for a good combination, who managed to win with Point Linus the other day as well. I do feel, though, that Serene Seraph at the top, been bought by Wathnan Racing. Had she not run in listed company at the back end under bottomless conditions, I think she'd be a good bit shorter in the market. No surprise to see they take off a valuable £3, Alec Wojkanski on board. And they talked her up when she won last season as a much better model as a 3-year-old, one of those going to grow and strengthen into her frame. Just think she's flying under the radar a little bit because the Hannon team have 2 runners.
Interesting, yes. And the Wathnan, you say, spending the bucks. All right, let's go back to Newbury then. This is a cracker than the Carnarvon. Obviously, elite status had a good start to his career beginning of last season. Pocklington took a Royal Ascot type from the north and making his first turf appearance. And then Relief Rally. Did the 7 furlongs of the Fred Darling perhaps Stretcher be more comfortable back at 6?
Yeah, I think that Relief Rally, it's all the talk this year, isn't it? Have they trained on? We have Big Evs winning the sprint division. We've got City of Troy. Has he? And here we have Relief Rally, and she's a little pocket rocket, isn't she? Look, that form has been worked out incredibly strongly, so we can't knock it whatsoever. But I just can't have her as, I think some of these have caught up with her. You got Malk, who ran really well in the Norfolk. He always looked like he was going to be a better 3-year-old. Room Service wasn't a bad run behind Esquire and the Greenham. And maybe that form is something that we need to latch on to. Mr. Sketch, another one from Wathnan Racing, who ran really, really well. Better than he was beaten that 3 lengths on that occasion. But I go back to Carl Burke. He started in brilliant form. Anything that's returning has gone incredibly well. Elite status was pretty impressive when we saw him at Sandown, although his form tailed off at the back end. I just feel that he might sort of come back rolling on his return to action. Elite status, drawn in 2, might not be ideal, but he goes with a bit of dig in the ground.
Yeah, certainly does. I did like him at the beginning of last season as well. Back to Newmarket then for a sprint handicap. Obviously, Divine Lieber, very impressive at Chester, despite being drawn out in stall 12, clearly headed the handicapper. And Summergan returns after, I say, no show. He was hampered early, and obviously that was just put a line through that at York this week.
Yeah, funny with the old boy Summergand. I wanted to give him a real chance. You know, he backs up just a few days later, but it was a non-event, beating 120 lengths. He wasn't given a hard time. He hasn't as yet managed to win over the 7 furlongs. All of his wins have been down at 6. It's surprising, isn't it, for a horse like him? Keep a close eye for later on down the season. Imperial Fighter, who was a very good juvenile. He's been picked up for 30,000 at the Horses in Training. Jamie Osborne has been doing incredibly well in that division of late. And then you got Quinault, Desert Cop, lots of the old favourites. I think I've found one who ran particularly well on his 2 tries this year, and that's Quest for Fun for Tim Easterby and Sean Curran. He's out there in double digits. I think he's a massive each-way price. Slightly better ground conditions will suit him. Ran okay up at Thirst last time until stamina became a bit of an issue. And the young rider has got a brilliant record aboard him as well. So flying under the radar, about 20s, I think, somewhere around there. Each way player for me, Quest for Fun.
Yeah, and you obviously big advocate of Sean Cran's beginning of the season, saying he's your man to keep an eye on.
Yeah, he's a really, really talented lad. And sometimes jockeys do just click with horses. He's ridden him over this trip on a few occasions as he's been going through the grades. Look, yes, he needs a career best from a perch of 90, but his 2 runs this year, Musselburgh and Thirsk, would suggest it's not his ceiling.
All right, Quest for Fun there then. Right, one of the biggest 3-year-old handicaps of the season, usually produces a group runner, is the London Gold Cup. 14 go to post, and Aidan sends one over as well. He's already won a 3-year-old middle distance handicap on the Knaves Mile this week.
Yeah, and he won this last year, didn't he? With Unbelievable. So it's just the type, Sean T, who he brings over. Despite a £10 hike, he won in bottomless conditions. You could go down any amount in here. I think what an absolute cracker. King's Gambit. He brings in the Bracken Laugh form. Bracken Laugh, who he had to give £6 to, is now rated 108, and he slots in off 93. Your handicap buffs will be all over this one, won't they? Thinking that he's going to absolutely fly. Goodwood Odyssey. He did nothing wrong at Sandown. He's obviously improving. And then we got Ponyross. He was pretty well fancied behind Harper's Ferry. Harper's Ferry, of course, didn't go in at Chester to give us a line on that form. So lots of angles in. Very boring for me, though, Matt. Got to say, Sean T up the £10. Quicker Ground, Galileo, Aidan O'Brien, just about his time, isn't it?
I think it is. Did I say I was over there at the weekend?
Once or twice.
Yeah, and I do think he's going to go well as well, Sean T. Right, back to Newmarket then for the 3:15. This time we're over the straight mile on the rolling mile. And again, quite a tight-knit little handicap, as you would expect.
Yeah, with lots of pace in here as well. Cabinet of Clowns is going to go forward. And then we've got the old favourites like, Dashing Roger. Sign Castle City has only been nudged up £3 for that return win at Bath. I look down through these. I mean, can I see any of these going on to Royal Ascot? Possibly only one. And that would be Good Karma, who was actually thrown in the Britannia handicap for the team. Returned at Chelmsford, punted off the boards and ran a clunker behind Documenting. Now he returns here. I can't believe that he's out there in double digits as well after just one poor effort. Keep a close eye on jockey bookings. Danny Muscat, who normally rides for the stable, he's up at Doncaster for the evening meeting. So look at the Ferguson runners. However, I think Good Karma is another each-way player back on the turf after a poor all-weather run.
Brilliant. Right, the big one. The Lockinge, the Group 1 over a mile, the first older horse Group 1 of this season. And we're a bit of weather watch, aren't we? Because John Gosden has said, obviously, Inspiral, she has been declared, but there's a lot of rain forecast in Berkshire, and she doesn't want that.
No, and is a 6-time Group 1 winner. She's lowered the colours of Big Rock previously, hasn't she? On his home soil. Big Rock, starting out for the new team, new trainer, demolition job at Ascot, managed to get away up on the front end. Everybody just sort of let him go, didn't they? Was that the worldy performance, and will we see it again? You've got Dear My Friend, who've been winning on the all-weather, but surely this is too far. Flight Plan, he was pulled out, wasn't he, of his intended start at Sandown because of the soft ground. High Royal, Poker Face forming behind Charing, and Royal Scotsman, who returns after he was a beaten, 6-4 favourite for the Irish 2,000 guineas. Never really happened for him, so he could be anything. But surely, if it comes up soft, why are we overlooking Charing, who's definitely improved this season? He was an easy winner at Doncaster. I think he won despite the way the race was run at Sandown last time, coming home really strongly. There's any amount of pace in here. Audience, Big Rock, Flight Plan, High Royal goes handy. Poker Face won't be far away. Real World can pop along. This is going to be a proper test over the mile. And why won't Sylvester come power-packed fast and late on Charing again? I just see him as an improved model this year.
Yeah, he's a big chance. Sylvester Sousa been going great guns since return. He's already won the 1,000 guineas, and he's got a couple of wins on board this fella as well. Charing in the Lockings, and for Jason, he's a man in form. Victoria Cup winner last week, Dante winner this week. What would be your best bet on the cards on Saturday?
I think if I went early on the card, I'd probably say, I've got my cards here. I think that Desert Hero is the one that'll be the cornerstone for many an accumulator. And I did mention early on about having a little look at the Derby. The more I look back at France, Henry Longfellow never really extended. Now, I don't know if he's going to stay over the mile, but he has got an entry, I believe. He's floating out there at 33-1 at the minute. Just wonder, who are they going to send over with the big horse who they can't see beaten in the Betfred Derby? Could Henry Longfellow be making the journey?
We'll find out over the next couple of weeks, of course. Looking forward to all that action. Good. Best luck with you back in this weekend. It's been a fantastic week at York, and hopefully find some new winners at Newbury and Newmarket this weekend.